But I just wanted to start up. We're going to be doing a new mask, and last time we kind of showed at the end how it looked, and right now I'm just starting to build up the basics here. So let me show you some of the stuff we've done before. Okay, there we see the mask for the atomic skull in our movie. It's kind of was supposed to be basically the guy's skull had swollen so much it was actually pushing on the skin from the inside, giving the illusion. Well, actually it was a skull, but misshapen and misformed too in the process. And there's one more common one, the Agents of Law. And these ones are made with a smooth-on foam. So if we look at the other side of it, see, actually it's just a foam. Now the interesting thing we've got to deal with this time though, is you see these don't really fall under, well, you see what she needs is for a plush con, where people go dressed with the costumes of animals. And we're going to try to apply the same method to that. Now what's difficult about it is I tend to work on stuff and just by doing it they become darker in their form. I work on it towards the aesthetic I feel is pleasing. And that's where it goes. So this will be a new thing. Now as we see here, because we know that the clay is heavy, we need to see that we have to duct tape the mannequin head to the surface so it doesn't fall over. The large amount of clay on these cartoon-like figures makes them heavy. Now as we look this again, you may understand more what I was doing. The cheeks are the standard like cartoony face cheeks you see that bulge out. But if that was to be clay, it would get too heavy for the face and would fall off. So what I've done is I've taken these two half spheres and I cut them in half, or they are right in half, and I cut in 1/2 inch from the edge on the flat side all the way around, then took a spoon and just popped out the center. So it went down about 1 inch to 1/2 inch. And then drew like basically the high spots that when I put it where I want it on the face, touch the face. And then I trim those away to give it a larger contact area and in this case I used a PVC piping glue and just tacked it on the edges and stuck it there and held it for a little bit. When it comes to taking it off, I'm gonna have to take sandpaper and clean it up, but it will break away because it's styrofoam. Here we are with the clay that we're actually going to be using to make this mask. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create it, fully sculpting it in the clay, and then cast it in the plaster. Because we don't need the high density plaster, we're going to try this out. Because the high density plaster costs a lot more, but this, after it's done, will be covered with fur. So the details of the surface don't need to be as strong. So thinking as like, oh, let's say your atypical cartoon bunny, you can see where that goes. Now we're going to put a flatter face on it, bring it down a little bit. We're going to bring a little more animal to it, but try to still keep it cute. This is a project between Dam Studio Productions and Max Payne, which is, you know, aka Morgan Norman from Morgan. She's been working with us for about 10 years now. So we're doing this mask for her, and it's a whole new way we didn't find a lot of people doing it. Now they could be, so we're going to just try it our own way and see what we come up with. So we're going to slowly go through and I'll show you how stage by stage. First thing we're going to do is if you've ever seen those shows where they're like the CSI shows where they sit there and they have the skull and they want to make it look real, so they don't want to know what the person looked like. Basically, this is the shape I wanted. The ears will actually attach back here in the back half, because we're going to be casting a back half. And the ears will attach from there. Right up here will be where the horns are. Short ones, because we don't want her catching everything when she's walking around. She's already got the ears. Just enough to express the concept of the jackalope. Going a little more towards, a little more animal to it, because the jackalope sounds like it should be wild. We're talking about going actually with hunter's clothes for it. So, we're going to flatten down the nose area. The nose may end down here by the mouth, actually. And that's where the breathing she can do for getting air, because it's going to be kind of warm. And then it will come down below here, and we'll do a face. She doesn't need an opening mouth. So that'll be the easier part. And then what we're going to do with this, we'll take the place of all the weight of this clay, and we'll lay it on here, and we'll basically like half-inch, quarter-inch thick strips. We'll cover the entire area all the way over, layer by layer, as if you were covering a skull with a certain density layers, like you see in the CSI, until we get fully the basic shape. And then we'll start building there towards actually what we're looking for. So we're working from kind of a cartoon character image that she gave me. And that's a little more difficult directly to 3D. But we're going to see what we can come up with. My idea hopefully is it will be a cute character, and she has to make sure I don't go Donnie Darko bunny rabbit here. So we'll see how it goes. Now what I've done, as I've mentioned before, so taking this larger block, chopped it off, just using standard flat blade knife, non-serrated. Chopped off, first of all, chunks like this off the block, just going straight down. Then took those, made into little slices. These are what I'm going to be wrapping around the head. Now, as we see from an old mask, I have a line here. Now that's the line where this hemisphere starts turning the other way. So the point is, when you're building the mask, don't go past that point, because you have a better chance if you go past that point, your mold will lock into place. Now in this one, it's actually going to be open back here more with these, because if I seal it over the round thing here, it'll lock it into the mold. I'd be able to get it out, but there's a chance of damaging. We don't want to bother doing that. So, here we go. Okay, here we go. After all night, worked on the nose a little bit more. Didn't record originally, so. But then what I do is got to keep it moist. So, put the bag on there with a little water. I spritz it down. Let me show you what it looks like, though. I got lots of these bags. I'll put a new one there. Here. There we go. Okay. Get a shot from another angle.